The book of Revelation, chapter 15, verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten a victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, which is the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, and over the number of his name, stand on a sea of glass, having the harps of God. And that's the elect, which John the Revelator saw, all right, in the outer space, in the second heavens, all right, standing over the sea of glass, or looking down from the chariots through the firmament, which was as a sea of glass when light hits it. And they saw, or John the Revelator saw, all right, from an aerial point of view, all right, their enemies being destroyed, his enemies being destroyed. And how do we know that? Because as we read on, right, and the enemies of the elect, because the elect is slated for salvation, as I mentioned. And they sang the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Right? And with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai's son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And there's no God beside them. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for being faithful witnesses to the Rakakwadash, the Holy Spirit, and Shalom to the elect, whom the Most have given ears to hear. Right? And Yahweh Yahweh Shai, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, well, Yahweh is going to send his son, Yahweh Shai, his right hand, all right, to deliver his elect. All right, and his elect are going to be singing the song of Moses. All right, just as Moses was singing how the Lord delivered them out of Egypt, a great and painful slavery, so will the elect be singing that same song as the Lord delivers them out of spiritual Egypt. All right, which this is also a gruesome, great, painful slavery. All right, and it speaks on how the elect will be singing the song of Moses, which the song of Moses is written of in Exodus the 15th chapter. So this is Exodus chapter 15, verse 1. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto Yahweh, and spake, saying, I will sing unto Yahweh, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. Yahweh is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him in habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him. Right? And as you read, as I'm reading with you brothers, it just goes to show you that Moses, well, I'll say that the Lord was with Moses the whole time, as we know. All right? And in time, he showed the whole world that. Whereas it says, the Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. So as it was a personal relationship, he really truly believed. All right? And then when the Lord did what he had to do, it made everybody else also a believer in the God of Israel. As we read on, he is my power. I will prepare him in habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. Right? Because it is written that the Lord mustereth the host. You see, as you see what's going on in this world right now, you better know that the Lord is orchestrating it. It tells us in Revelation 16 that the Lord drieth up the rivers of Euphrates, all right, to gather the kings of the east. All right, and now we're seeing, this melting pot with Gaza, with Israel and Iran, which is making America and its allies meet in that portion of the earth. All right. So the Lord is truly a man of war, to the end thereof that they're going to eventually shoot off nuclear missiles. And mind you, this is all the Lord's work. So, and it says, Pharaoh's chariots and his hosts have he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. Right? So Esau is going to bring his best technology as far as fighting this last war. But it's going to be to no avail, because the Lord is going to break him down. Salaki, just trying to get my charger. Right? The Lord is going to break him down. As we just read, this is what? Pharaoh's chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. It says the depths have covered them. They sank in the bottom as a stone. The right hand, O Yahweh, or thy right hand, O Yahweh, which we know is Yahweh Shai, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Yahweh, have dashed in pieces the enemy. Does it not tell us in Isaiah 63, who is this that's coming from Basra with dyed garments? All right, Yahweh Shai is going to come and break shit up. All right, he's the referee. You know, he's the he's a fight promoter. He's the referee. All right, he's also the greatest contender. It says, the depths have covered them. They sank in the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Yahweh, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Yahweh, hath dashed in pieces the enemy. In the greatness of thine excellency, thou hast thrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sendest forth thy wrath, which consumeth them as stubble. And with the blast of thy nostrils, the waters were gathered together. Now the Lord drowned Pharaoh with waters. You know, he brought Israel through the Gulf of the Gulf of Suez, right? And then he allowed them to pass through. All right, separating Israel and the Egyptians with a chariot. You can read that in Exodus the 14th chapter. And then when Israel was safely passed through, all best was off for the enemy. And that's what the Lord is going to do. All right, as we read in Revelation 7, it says, hurt not the earth, so the elect be sealed in their foreheads. All right. And reading on, the enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake. And that's what's happening today. When you watch Kyle Slobs, all right, and his his trusty Yuval Noah Harari, the Kill Gates, the Zuckerbergs, right? That's their mindset, that they will overtake, they will pursue, they will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. All right? And that's ultimately what's going to happen when he implements this mark of the beast. Right? That's him drawing his hand. All right? That's him attempting to put the Lord's people in a perpetual servitude. Right? Because mind you, the premise of the interaction between Pharaoh and Moses was what? To let the Lord's people go, that they may go and serve him. All right? But this devil is not trying to allow us to leave. Right? Hell, Jake's still asking for reparations. You know? On a small, minute level, you can look at Black Wall Street, proving that this devil is not trying to allow you to leave up from up under him. All right? You're too valuable, as far as a commodity to him. Thou in thy mercy let me start at verse 9 again. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with thy wind, the sea covered them, they sank as lead in the mighty waters. Who is like unto thee, O Yahweh, among the gods? Who is like thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praise, doing wonders? And it's that word wonders, meaning pala'ah. All right, meaning extraordinary, hard to understand. You know, and the Lord is doing wonders, waking us up, allowing us to see things afar off, little old nobodies. All right. And the Lord even said, he would destroy them with the brightness, the spirit of his mouth, then with the brightness of his coming. All right. Showing us things, start off, of course, with the apostles and elders, things afar off. While to the rest of the world, it was dark. He's showing us his scriptures, first and foremost, which is, it's literally like a, the scriptures, in the spirit of Yahushua, which is the spirit of prophecy, is like a, it's it's like a looking glass. Looking glass into all things, to the future, to the present, to the past. All right. And it all, always, the end of the stories leads to the deliverance of the righteous and the destruction of the wicked. And it's going to be no different in this, in this scenario. All right. In the time of World War III. Thou in thy mercy has led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength unto thy holy habitation. Again, the elect were guided with the word. All right. As a matter of fact, it says, which was given to the people through the prophets. All right. The people were guided through Moses, whom the Lord was dealing with. Right? And the Lord told Moses, do this, do that. And through him following the Lord, Israel was protected. Psalm 60, verse 4, thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee, that it may be displayed because of the truth, that thy beloved may be delivered. Save with thy right hand and hear me. You see, and again, the right hand of the Lord is Yahweh. Yahushua. All right. Stephen even seen at the, his departure when he's being stoned in Acts 7. He's seen what? Yahushua standing at the right hand of Yahweh. Right. So today we have this truth. But going back to Exodus 15, thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength unto thy holy habitation. The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestina. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, shall take hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt. Fear and dread shall fall upon them by the greatness of thine arm. They shall be as still as a stone, till thy people pass over, O Yahweh, till the people pass over which thou hast purchased. Right? And for those who don't get destroyed in World War III, it tells us in Wisdom of Solomon 5 that they're going to see our deliverance. Wherever we may be scattered, they're going to see our deliverance. All right? And shame shall cover them. as we're reading. You know, they shall be as still as a stone. You know, thinking within themselves, like the scriptures say, how is he counted among the righteous? You know, and you think about still as a stone, that's like fear. You know, damn, them niggas was right. And you know, they know what we talk. You know what we say, that they going into slavery. You know, we're gonna rule over them for 1,000 years. So when they see that it wasn't just you know, something we got together and made up, they gonna shit their pants. They're not what the harlot Rahab told. Let's just grab it, man. Joshua chapter 2, verse 10. For we have heard how Yahweh dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when ye came out of Egypt, and what ye did unto the 2 kings of the Amorites that were on the other side of Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom ye utterly destroyed. And this is the harlot Rahab speaking to the 2 spies that came spy out her land. I forgot the name of her land. Nevertheless, and as soon as we heard these things, our hearts did melt. They were still. Neither did there remain any courage in any man because of you. For Yahweh your power, he is God in heaven above and in earth beneath. Now, there we go. Oh, let me keep going. Now, therefore, I pray you swear unto me, thy Lord, since I shewed you kindness, that you will shew me kindness. Okay, that's pretty much it. It's a lot. All right. So they're going to be still. Right? They're going to be afraid. They shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestine. You know? Hey, at the appearing of Yahweh, like it says in Isaiah 2:18, they shall say to the rocks, hide us from the indignation of the man that cometh from the heavens. Let's see if I can grab that. That's the spirit. I just thought about that. It says, Isaiah 2:20. 2:17. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down. The haughtiness of men shall be made low. Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. You see, because everybody, like the famous saying, everybody got a plan until they get hit. You know? And with the extravagant ways of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, all right, all the plans that you thought you had is going to be thwarted. All right, probably the Lord probably even allow him to shoot a nuke at him, and it not do nothing to him. Then he's going to bring out Leviathan. You know, which when the prophecies of Leviathan, it speaks on how like his skin is as like scales. You know, it says like arrows of stone, something like that. Like it like tickles him. It don't do nothing to him. You know, so if the Lord had a creation like that, how much more is powerful is he? And the idols, he shall utterly abolish. Let me read back at 17. Getting a little excited here. It's a lot. You know, well, shit, not a lot. You know, just getting a little excited. Let me relax myself so I can read. And the loftiness of men shall be bowed down. The haughtiness of men shall be made low. Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. The idols he shall utterly abolish. They shall go into the holes of the rocks, into the caves of the earth, for fear of Yahweh, and for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake terribly the earth. In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which when the Lord comes back, the earth is going to be shaking. You know, that power alone. And he's bringing them, you know, and he's opening up his armory, so he's bringing them missiles with him. Come on, man. All right, the Lord is going to allow them devils to shoot off the missiles. You know, because that's the end. That is the end. That's going to stop civilization. All right. And that day a man shall cast his idols of silver, his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the clefts of the rocks and to the tops of the ragged rocks, for the fear of Yahweh, and for the glory of his majesty when he rises to shake terribly the earth. Cease ye from man whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he to be accounted of? I remember the guy Dabu, he did a lesson on how like NASA, you know, they showed their space cameras, and it was even showing a chariot that looked like it could swallow the whole earth. You know? So the Lord is gonna come very menacing, you know, very cruel. All right, and good. All right, because we had to pay, so they gotta pay. The Lord is coming with world war. The Lord is mustering the hosts. All right, and we're gonna read why. Well, as it says, Joel chapter 3. For behold, in those days, all right, the topic at hand is the last days. All right, and again, I was reading Exodus 15 because at the end thereof, we're going to be singing, Lord willing, I'll be of the elect, in the chariots, all right, of what the Lord just did. It's going to be an amazing, man, it's going to be a story to tell. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, all right, which Judah was the so-called blacks, Haitians, West Indians, and Jerusalem are the so-called natives and Hispanics. You see, we are yet in captivity. All right, that's why we're subject to payments. We're subject to being locked up. You know, hey, it's pretty spiritual how you got a lot of the so-called Hispanics coming over here to the land of captivity right now. You know, where they say America is like makes up 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's incarcerated. Right? And then the spirit of America is on all of the whole world. So the world sees, you know, the so-called black and Hispanic man collectively as a scum of the earth. All right? Which means oppression on our side. And wherever we were scattered, as we're going to read, I will also gather all nations. It will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them for my people, for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations. All right. And remember, if this is talking about the end, you must understand that in the New Testament, right, we would be known as those people that were scattered. Right. So when you read about the salvation of Gentiles, just know that it's Israel, right, who had the salvation of the Gentiles. Just know that it's Israel who was scattered among the Gentiles, whom they have scattered among the nations, among the Gentiles, and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine. All right, and again, just look in the news. All right, with the Epstein situation. All right, we see this very clearly. All right. You know, it says, yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Sidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, right, which recompense means to deal fully, to deal out to, it says to repay, requite, I believe, requite. It says, and if ye recompense swiftly, if ye recompense me, if you repay me swiftly and speedily, will I return your repayment upon your own head. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah, the children of Jerusalem, have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far off from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. So call law to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai for that. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners, and repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of punishment. With that, shalom to the elect.